So the biggest mistake that we see people make, and this really is the most crucial aspect for this for most people, is not fixing digestive malfunction. And the reality is that digestive malfunctions are common, and the symptoms that they create are just so common that people think, oh, that's just how it is. All my friends are bloated too, no big deal. Oh, yeah, my mom didn't poop, but like maybe once a month. You know, these are all problems that are common, but that doesn't mean that they're okay. So if you have digestive issues that are going on, they really need to be corrected. Or if you have really low blood pressure, like if you check your blood pressure at least 2 hours after a meal, and that systolic number, that top number, is lower than 112, then that's a really strong sign that your body's not bringing in enough minerals by digesting the food correctly. The second biggest mistake we see is that everyone is told to take calcium carbonate if they need to strengthen their bones. Bones are made of calcium, so you got to get this calcium in here. It's easy to absorb. Calcium carbonate, dump it all in your body. The problem is, we talked about in that previous video about how digestive malfunction is the most common cause of this problem. And so if someone can't acidify their food correctly, then they can't really break down the food and get the nutrients out. If someone takes an antacid, that's similar to taking a PPI where they're turning off stomach acid, but an antacid will kind of neutralize those stomach acids and remove their ability to acidify the food correctly. So it would make sense not to take an antacid. Well, guess what antacids are made out of? Calcium carbonate. So it's the most alkaline form of calcium because you're turning off your digestion. You're turning off your ability to acidify the food so the food can be broken down properly, which is taking too much vitamin D for your unique body chemistry. The problem is that we really need vitamin D to bring calcium in the system. When we eat food and we break it down and the calcium is there in the intestinal tract, vitamin D is what helps us pull the calcium out of the intestinal tract into the bloodstream. So it's like this hero, we really need it. However, we're looking at vitamin D as this dust buster that kind of sucks the calcium into the bloodstream out of the intestinal tract and allows us to use that calcium the way that the body should. These studies are showing, look, calcium goes way up the more vitamin D you take. Look, we're doing these blood tests. We see that the body's bringing in a lot more calcium. What they're not understanding is it's not only bringing calcium in from the intestinal tract, it's pulling calcium out of the tissues and even the bones and pulling that into the bloodstream and making the blood calcium retentive. It traps that calcium in the blood so it can't get down to where it needs to be.